2 goals separated these sides at the SSN Grand Final of 2024. What will happen here at the Ballarat Blitz? My name is Hannah Kuhar. Joining me, Georgia Rajic. How good has the start of this tournament been? It's great to be back here in Ballarat.
It is great to be back in Ballarat, but it's also been exciting. We had a great first game. Really got to see both teams play and use their full benches. Now we've got a grand final rematch. How much better can it get?
Pre-season netball, don't we love it? This weekend, of course, made possible by the support of the City of Ballarat and the Victorian government. So if you're in the vicinity, we're expecting about 2,000 people in the house, limited tickets available. So get down if you are near Selkirk Stadium. Or else, thank you for joining us online. We're loving all the comments, all the tweets. So keep the energy going. And my, talk about energy. It feels like the crowd has warmed up. I'm going to say, go bold and say overwhelmingly a Vixens crowd.
I don't think it's too bold of a suggestion to say, especially because of the fact that this is such a proud netball region as well. It's great to be out here in a place where netball is so beloved, and of course, you know, they love their Vixens out here.
Well, we see the Vixens starting to come out. Goal shooter will be Sophie Garvin. Goal attack, Lily Graham. Wing attack, Hannah Mundy. Centre, Kate Maloney. Wing defence, Zara Walters. Goal defence, Kate Eddy. And goalkeeper, Rudy Ellis. What do you reckon about having Graham in goal attack and Walters wing defence? Potentially some different options for pre-season.
But also, I think important to get some of those run in the younger players. You know that Walters came in, lit the league on fire last year, but now, of course, seeing her wing defence, mainly Sirius Moore is attacking mid-quarter, but it would be really exciting to see her directly against Georgie Horges in the SSN Player of the Year last season.
Well, the Vixens already come up with ball. T-Birds, a nervous start, pushing it over the sideline as we see bodies hitting the deck already. Eddie goes through the middle. Garbin's happy to put a long bomb into the corner, and the front option, that's patient start from the Vixens off a T-Bird centre pass. Do you want to talk us through the T-Birds starting 7, Georgia?
Will do. So goal shooter Lucy Austin, goal attack Lauren Frew, wing attack Georgie Horges, centre Captain Hannah Petty, wing defence Sophie Casey, goal defence Matilda Garrett, goalkeeper Shamira Sterling Humphrey. No Romelda Aiken-George this weekend. She's being rested, but a really exciting lineup there for the Thunderbirds.
An exciting start from the goal line throw-in, long ball over. Austin out of the pocket and a lot of hands, a lot of scramble. Ellis caught out of play outside of the ring. Of course, these two sides will continue their grand final rematch energies in round 1 when the Vixens head to Adelaide to take on the reigning premiers. I'm going to ask you, Georgia, for your season prediction. So start thinking about those now. T-Birds playing a zone through the middle. Vixens have to be patient round, and that's not the patient ball. They force it in and luckily hold on to it, or maybe not.
Yeah, I think that's Lily Graham just trying to find that option, noticing that Matilda Garrett had actually tracked back onto Garbin. But we've seen, you know, before that first goal was scored by the Thunderbirds, it did venture and spend some time in the attacking third for the Vixens. So curious to see how both teams will be working and trying to be efficient with their scoring. But looks like the Thunderbirds are punishing the Vixens twice now. No goal is the call there.
Well, an assertive start for our umpires. Sarah McNamara, Jordan Kiss, and our reserve, Nicole Wingrave. Of course, pre-season's more than just these teams. It's the officials, it's the umpires getting some valuable minutes in. So how grateful we all are to be at the Ballarat Blitz.
Yeah, Jordan Kiss has come through the umpiring ranks. We've got some great games last season, so she's been another player that's come through the umpiring pathway. We spoke a lot about the pathways in netball. We have to give props to the umpires who've made their way through as well.
As the Vixens are now on the board, already the player posters are getting a good run in the crowd, 1 apiece. It's a very quick feed for the T-Birds, mid-range shot. It's a younger goal circle than what you've spoken about. Romelda, she's not going to be taking part, so instead we have a young circle in Frew and Austin who slots the shot.
But that's two players that know each other very well through South Australian pathways, played together, of course, in the Netball League there. But, of course, South Australian Force, when they won the ANC in 2022, they won the medal together. And 2023, when they looked like they were going to be the unbeaten team and claimed the bronze. So some great players on the court. I'm particularly excited about some of these younger players coming through. Sophie Casey, who's in wing defence. She's really awkward landing there for both Garbin and Garrett. Garbin particularly lucky that Garrett didn't fall completely on her head. But yeah, Sophie Casey is one of the most exciting mid-courting prospects I think we have in this country, and my personal favourite player in the pathway at the moment, Lucy Vojvodic, you know, fresh off winning the 19s MVP last year, or the year before in National Netball Champs. She's on the bench as well. So there's some real exciting players for South Australia coming through, and it's great to see that the Thunderbirds are rewarding them. You know, in years gone past, we saw them go to the Swifts, and now they're really relishing and making the most of the talent they have in their state.
Well, Vojvodic, as you mentioned, 2023 gold medalist at Nationals and suited up for the Commonwealth Youth Games as well. Meanwhile, baseline feed, but Eddie has a nibble. Unluckily that the post was there to interrupt her balance, and it's the Thunderbirds springing ahead 4-1.
Yeah.
Wide option, and that's a great work from the T-Birds defence to force that ball. Some jitters amongst the team in blue.
Well, I think this is beautiful from Walters.
What a response.
Exactly why she is just such a talented young player. You know, I feel like if she hopefully had more games last season, didn't have that injury, we could have seen her take out the rookie of the season, Lauren Frew, the goal attack for the Thunderbirds, the player that did. But that is what she's able to provide. But she's not being rewarded in the attacking at the moment. There just seems to be, though, you know, it's not dissimilar in vibes from what we saw in the first game, but it's just the fact that they're not hitting the right marks, you know, miss opportunities. We've seen the ball venture down, but they can't actually go to post and score accurately at this point in the game.
Well, can the T-Birds convert from a goal line throw in, now top of the circle? Austin doesn't have a lot to go to. One fake, two fakes. And the receive again, Austin under post. Her happy spot, she'll convert. And it's 5-1, 5 minutes into the first quarter. Of course, our previous match, if you missed it, was the Fever, winning 68-62 against the Giants. As our first timeout of the day is called, after 5 minutes of play, what do you think both sides would be talking about, Georgia?
Well, no surprise it is the Melbourne Vixens that called it. They're down 5-1. They had plenty of opportunities throughout the game to really level it up. It's not like they're not winning ball. They're not converting. And we know that gains to goal conversion is such an important statistic for the Vixens. Not being able to convert here has actually really been the detriment of their game. Thunderbirds right out of the blocks, fast and efficient. It's just whether or not we can see the Vixens just hit their connections. You can see Simone McInnes talking about hands over pressure to her defenders as well. We're finding that the ball is finding Austin really easily at the post. What are they going to do to vary up the defence in the circle? Of course, you know, Jo Weston on the bench. She's a player who's represented the Diamonds so many times. We've got Alice, who's represented the Diamonds in the off-season as well. So how are these players going to adjust to this circle for the Thunderbirds is the big question for me.
Well, we've just seen some of the highlights, and most of them belonging to this team on screen, the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Of course, they're the reigning premiers. They've won the last two, and they're looking pretty strong. Encouraging first 5 minutes for the team in pink.
Well, when you think about the previous meetings between these two sides, and the last Thunderbirds have won the last three. The Vixens won a really early game last season at John Cain Arena by 1, and I feel it was kind of controversial. Jamila Sterling Humphrey had an opportunity. I think she was incorrectly called, but you know, it is interesting to think about the way the games that they have played out, including that semi-final, which was 25 the difference between the two.
Well, they've had an almighty few tussles in 2024. What lies ahead in 2025? Vixens down the middle of the court, no options. Have to go back in LS, pressed against the sideline. All of their options. Mundy too. Maybe that's the T-Birds' defence as Frew has a look at it. Pushing them sideline to sideline again. Sweeping around the far end. There's a goal. Oh, there's a goalkeeper, goal shooter tussle. You got to love the work being done under post. And now a more patient entry into goals.
Really curious as well about the work that Kira Austin is doing up front. She is you know, what we saw in season 2023 was about the fact that there was Liz Watson and Kira Austin both wanting to be the playmaker. That became really Kira Austin in 2024. Now it seems like she's doing so much work at the front. Does she need to be an option in the ring to alleviate some of the pressure on Garbin getting those shots in early?
Oh, exactly that. Garbin indicating to Austin, come back, play the 2-on-1 with me. Garbin taking the front space, holding the defender on her back, and there's a great goal, great team goal from the Vixens. T-Birds overcoming a wall, or they don't at all. Great change of possession for the Vixens. Mundy, top of circle, uses 1-2 fakes, and again Garbin. She's got two bodies on her. Vixens to take a deep breath. And what can they do? Austin, small bounce pass, wants the front space. If not for the arms of Garrett. Austin, long bomb. She can warm up for the power 5, which is 2 minutes 45 away. Drops a long bomb. Expect lots of those in 2025.
Well, that's 3 in a row for the Vixens now coming out of that break. So, mate, we spoke about a really early break, but it has been to their benefit. They've been able to settle a bit better. They've come in, they've hitting their connections. You can see that their shooting circle is setting up well. The screen that Garbin just set up allowed the space for Austin, and now Garbin doing what she does best with that strong hold, tracking back to the goal line.
Life is easier when you only have one defender in play as well, so we'll keep our eyes on the Tilly Garrett penalty count, especially outside of the circle. Meanwhile, T-Birds taking the close wing and pushing it long. That's a great option over the head of Ellis. Despite her long arms, Austin makes it count, and it's a 1-point ball game halfway through the first quarter. Mundy, short vision. There's the longer option, but it might be too long over the sideline for the Vixens.
Well, it looked like Kate Maloney was looking to join Jo Weston on the bike there, so unfortunate there, just cooking that one a little bit too long, but we'll be curious to see if the Thunderbirds will now put the pressure back on. We haven't seen them be consistent in going back-to-back with their scoring since early in the game.
Austin, she's putting up long bombs from everywhere, making that one count. And the T-Birds, they score off the Vixen centre pass, have one of their own now. The overload option through the back, front holds on. Austin, can she find enough real estate? Not quite through, has to keep jostling for the front. Or just won't be in a hurry to deliver, because when you've got time and space out the back, it makes netball a whole lot easier.
It truly does.
50 seconds until the power 5. Will the Vixens want a quick score? There's a lot of work's done outside of the ring. Garbin trying to find inside of the body. Gee, she is having a physical day. But a beautiful mid-range shot from Austin. And still that 2-goal margin remains. Oh, Ellis looked like she'd get to it. Second too late. Austin will be secure under post though. And it's an encouraging start from the Vixens defenders, starting to warm up into this one and have a bite at ball. Went out in front. Garbin dominant outside of the circle. Maloney wide. Again, the T-Birds hustling on the 1-on-1. That is the siren for the power 5. So it means a shot like this will be worth 2 goals. Oh, the deflection attempt. Geez, you got to enjoy what looked like a good block. Wasn't to be. That'll be the first super shot of this match though. Vixens making it count.
Well, it is curious when you think about the player who had the most blocks in the league. Well, there's only one name, Shamira Sterling-Humphrey. But the funny part is, Kira Austin was the player that had been blocked the most. So that was Sophie Garbin going for the shot now. But don't be surprised if it happens the other way later on in this game.
Well, it's always hard to put a shot up over the long arms of Sterling-Humphrey. That timing, though, impeccable. So we see an off-balance Garbin. She doesn't want to take that shot. This one, much more balanced. Or that right-handed offload looking just as deadly. But the long bomb doesn't drop for the girl from Kalgoorlie. Through the middle go the T-Birds. With one fake, pushed against the sideline through. She wants access into the ring. It's not quite there. They're going to have to do a bit more work, the T-Birds, to get into shooting range. Both defenders Positioning on the front of the body. That's interesting to concede all of that back space where they know Lucy Austin will be so deadly from that.
It is curious because the Thunderbirds aren't a team that put up a lot of super shots as well. They didn't actually attempt a single super shot in the grand final. For them to be pushing towards the one is an interesting choice when this isn't that's actually playing to the strengths of their game.
Well, we'll see what the Vixens defenders do now that they bring the ball up the court. Using sideline to sideline, a lot of yo-yo netball into the pocket. Oh, misconnection into Maloney, but they'll have Sterling Humphrey out of play. And the 1 point choice of the Vixens. They could have looked long. Instead, the secure under post option. 3 goals in it, under 3 minutes. Maloney under pressure. Again, Austin dominating the centre pass, receives. Can she work her way back into ring? Garvin split really wide. T-Birds defenders don't want them to have ball in middle corridor, but they'll let them take that 2-pointer. Sophie Garvin continuing to make it rain. 1 goal now. Austin with a great take. And a really quick goal for the Thunderbirds.
And it's interesting when you look throughout the season about the length of time towards a goal for particular teams, how quickly the Thunderbirds as a team score. That's why I think possession is such a meaningless stat in netball. But if a team has a lot of possession, most of the time it means they're struggling to find their options in attack. They're swinging the ball around, which just opens up the opportunity, especially for a strong defensive side like the Thunderbirds, to have an invitation in. They score quickly. They really put the pressure in. They make teams play it around, and then they force an error, and that's how they pick them apart.
Well, a courageous defensive rebound by Ellis. She's stuck against the transverse line, though. Can't hold on through. Can she hold on for 2? Of course she can. And now the 2-goal margin is doubled. 4 goals, 90 seconds on the clock. T-Birds. If you score a 2 off the Vixen centre pass, what can they do with their own? Beautiful work through the baseline. And that's a great option in Austin.
Yeah, interesting how the scores have been just swinging aggressively towards one side or the other. Both sides getting runs. Garrett there, beautiful. But again, Captain Maloney standing up for the Vixens.
And again, a close to a beautiful block. Not quite. T-Birds fans, it will come. Just stay patient. 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Love that Austin was free by herself, waving her arms. Give it to me. That's exactly why she does it. She knows she's deadly from 2-point range. 43 seconds now. T-Birds, they have plenty of time to work into the ring. All of their players getting caught up high. Defenders have to do a lot of work now into the goal third. Through out of the circle. No goal is in until the beautiful lead of Austin. She's off balance though. And the Vixens put the foot down. 25 seconds, umpires holding time. Ball will be brought back. And clock's on, 20 seconds now. Mundy desperately searching. No one coming towards the ball. Having to work back. 13 seconds, 12. Austin knows she's got time against her. Wide option. The rework choice from Garvin. Will there be enough time? 2 seconds. Offload. Austin, get it up. That's the siren. Oh, no obstruction. A second chance. And still can't make it count. Well, what a first term of netball. 16-13 after the first 15 minutes. Plenty more after this. 2025. What a treat, and welcome back. It is game 2 of the Ballarat Blitz. Vixens, they'll get us cracking. Already in the pocket, Maloney. Goes the dribbler. And a long-range option. A few different substitutions made at quarter time, of course. A very seesawing first quarter. My name is Hannah Kuhar, Georgia Rajic. We've got some new faces.
Absolutely. Well, Lily Graham did start the game in goal attack, but Kira Austin came on after they called that really early timeout in the opening minutes. But a big news to the big fans of the Vixens. Joe Weston on in goal defence. Kate Eddy moved out to wing defence. But I really liked what Zara Walters did in wing defence. I thought she brought tenacity in that role, did some really good work in picking up balls, forcing errors as well. I don't doubt we'll see her again at this game, but whether we're going to see her in wing defence or more in attacking mid-court position will be interesting to see.
Well, Eddie back into wing defence. She gets a deflection, and it feels like every other circle defender has gotten one too, but the T-Birds still slotting that goal.
Well, of course, there's changes for the Thunderbirds as well. Can see Lucy Vojvodic in wing defence, also Latanya Wilson in at goal defence. Can see that Kayla Graham, more traditionally known as a goal attacker, slotted into wing attack. So really using their bench early in this game. Horges, Petty, Casey, and Garrett all heading to the bench.
Well, wholesale changes 15 minutes into this one. And that is a high ball. Gosh, threading the needle. Vixen sandwich, but Austin, she gets it done. 3-goal ball game. Wide centre pass, Mundy. Doesn't look long, just the little one into Maloney. All goalers out of the ring. T-Birds doing their best to push the Vixens up high as Joe Weston also cops a push. Oh, brutal body work. Mundy, though, she'll be the soldier left standing, her team pushing to post. And there's a lovely shot via Graham. A lot of fans in the stands for the youngster. Squeals all over the shop.
And it's also the first venture of the ball and mop squad so far for the season. We know the Vixens, I'm quite biased, I think they've got the best ball and mop squad in the league. We know they run very well. So, well, we saw a couple of players take really heavy hits onto the court. So it'll be interesting to see Kayla Graham in that wing attack position. Curious to see how she'll provide a different option, but really interesting. Thunderbirds really trying to promote that wing attack, goal attack role.
Yeah, well, they're combinations that have to build. Frew out the front, Austin out the back on that one. We'll see how they keep working to circle edge ever so patiently. Still 3 goals in it. Vixens opting for Austin over the line. Mundy, she's got 2 on her. Stuck really high. Again, Austin wants to go, but Maloney will receive it, and that is a stellar take. Cleverly placed, but even better pull in. Just can't finish it off. Can Kira Austin. T-Birds with the power down the court. No one coming to the ball. Lot of short play. Where's the long ball? It'll be given. Oh, no. It'll be given too close to the sideline. Footwork call. Messy entry, but the quickest of feeds from the Vixens. Graham under post gets a second, and those Vixen signs are waving, of course. If you want to head down to the Vixens home games this year at John Cain Arena, those tickets on sale now. Head to melbournevixens.com.au or Ticketek to book. But Petty out wide, sees the space under post. Austin can rip it in.
Well, now heading back to the Vixen centre pass. Well, Lily Graham's still a teenager, but the way that she dodges, we saw her progression throughout last season, that early on she'd do a couple of half double dodges. Lucky there with that ball being caught by Kira Austin low. But even then before, when she saw that she had Sterling Humphrey over the shot, decided to go for the safer option, got the obstruction call in the end. But considering what she's seen from the Thunderbirds defence already blocking shots in this game, I think smart work from the youngster.
There's no harm in holding it a little longer, and that's exactly what Kira Austin does. And it's goal for goal here at Selkirk Stadium in Ballarat. T-Birds with their own centre pass. Vixens defenders playing a box. They want to take the space. T-Birds deciding to drive through the middle. There's not a lot going down the front. Austin again has to help as the goal shooter out of circle. Through taking the goal line drive. Really feels like the T-Birds attacking lineup has to work so hard to get to circle edge and into shooting range.
Well, it's curious to think about how the Thunderbirds last year used their substitutions. They were the team that used their 10 the most of any club within the Super Netball, as well as have the most substitutions. But of course, most of the time it wasn't because they were necessary, it's because they could afford their team to have full runouts. Vixens comparatively was a team with the least amount of substitutions, played their 7 the most of any team. Now looking at this particular lineup, is it potential we're going to see some changes? Georgie Hodges, of course, can go into that goal attack position. Kayla Graham can play either of the back 2. Of course, no Romelda Aiken-George to be that tall, steady focal point down to the post, but Lucy Austin seemingly has brought back some more of that movement that we saw maybe in 2-3 seasons ago. Then we kind of dropped off at points of last season, so curious to see what's happening in their goaling circle.
Well, the ball falls right into the hands of Joe Weston. And down the sidelines do the Vixens go. One-on-one contests all over. Austin has to look back. And now a much better reload, but again, you've got to feel for the T-Birds defenders. They're getting hands on ball, just can't hang on to it. Vixens lucky to retain possession. Graham You can see her shoulders move up and down. That is a deep breath and a great offload. It looked like a great offload. Austin to be rewarded anyway.
And I wonder if that little moment there for Lily Graham is going to be a confidence booster. She went shoulder to shoulder with Sterling Humphrey and came out the victor. She got two hands, and also that little pickup she did before. I wonder if these are little moments for her to really build upon when she's actually facing these defenders.
Well, it's funny to think that the goal shooter has to think about the wins against a defender, but that is the prowess of Sterling under post. Vixens have to use the middle drive. Graham has zip, Maloney wide, and Austin playing to the top of the ring. Again, the long bomb's pushed up. Still 3 minutes until that Power 5 territory. Down the sideline, Frew has to look short, really close to 3 seconds, but Petty, the pressure reliever through the middle. I'm keeping firm eyes on these Vixens defenders. They're athletic, looking for long balls like that one, but Frew, she was that half step in front. She'll be secure under post. And we're out to a 4-goal margin now. Thunderbirds with a centre pass.
Yeah, it's been remarkably even in this quarter up until that was a real moment that the Thunderbirds could extend their lead. But again, it's coming down to the fact that they're showing great variety in what they're choosing with their options. They're choosing long, they're going short. We saw previous passages, Vixens really hugging that middle channel, but now we're going to have another timeout the way of the Vixens.
Yep, so we're halfway through the second quarter, 3 goals in it. Why do you think the Vixens have called a timeout now, and what do you think is going to be discussed in their huddle?
Well, like we were just speaking about, the fact that they have actually been consistent throughout the quarter, and this is now the first time we've really seen them have that break, the goal to gain for the Thunderbirds. So now it's, I think, a real important moment to reset. I will be curious if there are any substitutions coming out of this, because we did see that one in that first timeout in the first quarter.
Well, I think there's been one positional switch. Looks like Jo Weston will head out into wing defence and Kate Eddy into goal defence. Of course, we've seen Weston in that wing defence bib a few times. You're shaking your head, Georgia. You're not a fan of this move.
I think she does a serviceable job. I am a massive Jo Weston fan, that's correct. But I also think it's also interesting having young Kayla Graham, who is going to be a goal attacking wing attack. So potentially that works well. I think it's interesting when you see like a Georgie Horges type, even though she is a goal attack as well. But the way that she plays wing attack, I think it's expecting a lot from Jo Weston in that wing defence role when she can't use the circle to her advantage. So I really loved what we saw from Zara Walters in wing defence in that first quarter.
Well, Georgia Rajic beside me says bring back Zara Walters into wing defence. We'll have to listen to we'll see if the Vixens coaches secretly have us in their ears. Of course, they love the Netball Victoria Facebook and YouTube feed.
Or potentially a secret third thing, Tara Watson on the bench. She's been phenomenal for the Northeast Blaze, has been selected for every state and national team. She's been eligible the past couple of years. Now, that is a player who is brilliant in the 3 mid-court positions, but I think she'd do a really good job in wing defence here.
Well, we'll see if Tara Watson gets the call up. Of course, she's been pulled into the side, replacing Em Mannix, whilst the new mum decides where she's at with her netball. So congratulations, Em Mannix, on the beautiful arrival of her new child. I think Em Mannix might even be in the stands at some point, so we'll keep our eyes out. Taylor Honey, a past Vixen, definitely in the house, maybe to support her mum, Di, who is an assistant coach at the Vixens. Meanwhile, it's a 6-goal margin, just over 6 minutes until half-time. T-Birds with a chance to extend it and make it 7. Petty has to use the fake one way, and that is a beautiful lob over the arms of Ellis.
And again, it's just the connection between Austin and Frew. This is a shooting circle that's built up years of support, and they know how they play, so each other plays. So it's beautiful to watch that come through a pathway and then translate at the elite level.
Well, the Vixens working patiently to circle edge. Mundy cops a whack, looks backward. And again, the ever-patient Vixens in no hurry to score. Graham fighting a really strong one-on-one battle out front, which means Austin is going to be the pressure reliever. Mid-range, she looks great. She might be warming up for her super shots to start dropping in 43 seconds time. through over circle edge, over the line, but straight into Vixens' hands. Eddie with the long arms over now, pushing the ball into the pocket. The quickest of sweeps from Frew. Geez, Georgie, you like the mop work of the Vixens, but I think the sweeping of Frew just as effective.
Absolutely. I think she has one of the best textbook goal attack plays that we're seeing at the elite level. Our only player who I think is comparable in that textbook goal attack role is Brodie Roberts for the Kelpies, because the way she does those front sweeps and drives are beautiful to watch.
Well, Brodie, of course, one of our best male netballers, has spent a lot of time going up against these Vixens, so maybe, and the T-Birds, so we'll see if that's where they've learnt those tricks from. We're now into the power 5, so the 2-point shots will drop, those long-range bombs. And again, working patiently are the T-Birds. Oh no, T-Birds goalers, but not too patient through into Austin, pushing it into the 2-on-1 contest. Vixens rewarded with the goal line throw-in. Eddie pushing through the middle. Maloney has to help. And now the wide options start. Mundy with the agility test through the middle.
I've seen Lucy Vojvodic in this little foray she's had on court hit the deck twice. That was a beautiful somersault on the ground, and Mundy and her, it's been a physical tussle between the two of them in that wing attack, wing defence role. So much happening even when the ball is on the other side of the circle.
Well, Vojvodic, no doubt, learning those tricks when she learns her trade at Matrix over in the SA Netball League, that state league. Her side now with the goal line throw-in. And Vixens hunting early, wide options present. Not a lot presenting forward though for the T-Birds. Again, defenders having to bring the ball all the way to the transverse line. There, Petty, again opening up options. Through, just pushing it too far into the pocket.
Yeah, and it's curious that this lead has seemed really stable now for that 7-goal margin for quite some time. But it's just little things that you just become aware of. It's so smooth the way that the Thunderbirds play that when something like this error of that ball sailing over the sideline, you're like, oh, wait a second, there are, potential errors to be forced in this team because everything else just looks like it's flowing beautifully.
Well, Graham, she can't make that shot flow through the ring. T-Birds again with the change of possession off the Vixen centre pass. Weston though, she's flying. The team holds on.
And it's those moments like that, this crowd is going to be so involved. They love these players and they have for quite some time.
And that sends the fans into madness. Don't they love seeing Jo Weston do her thing? As I'm sure all of you online are absolutely loving what she brings to the court. A timeout though will be called halfway through this power 5. 7 goals the margin, so not insurmountable for the Vixens, but the T-Birds, as you mentioned, G, have been stagnant in recent minutes. What needs to fire them up in the last 2.5?
Yeah, I think it's really curious, Hannah. I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be a slight change. I wonder if Kayla Graham's getting a bit stuck at the moment in that wing attack role. We've seen a couple of errors. She's driving really deep into the pocket. Maybe she needs to come back a little bit, try and set up on the 45 a bit more and try and give a different option, maybe a double dodge a little bit higher in the third. But I wonder if it's just that placement of pass. You can see that she's having those conversations with Tanya Obst as well. So I know that does look like there is a lot of that conversation directed at the attack. So I'd be curious to see if there's any changes, if they're going to stick it out for the rest of the half.
Well, it doesn't look like that mid-court's going to shift. Of course, Hannah Petty providing some instruction to Kayla, as you mentioned, but a one central chat for both sides, not breaking up into their ends of the court or little team huddles. So all units working cohesively. The Vixens, though, sharing some last instructions. Doesn't look like any positional shifts will be made there either. So both teams opting to stick with the 7 that they had on court for this final minute or so.
Yeah.
And again, Petty just speaking to the defensive line, even though she'll take the centre pass now. So T-Birds with a chance to stretch out this 5-goal lead.
Well, of course, every team here was able to bring 12 players for match day. Vixens only brought the 11 players. So playing with just their contracted 11, so to speak, and also bringing in Tara Watson. So curious to see, if this is a proper opportunity and chance for them to just work it out with their contracted players at the moment. Of course, there hasn't been an announcement about Emily Mannix, but hopefully we'll see her this season, but it's all up to what happens there as well. So considering the internationals that that are in this team, this is probably one of their best opportunities to go up against equal opposition with all their players available and fit.
Well, it's an interesting point you make, Georgia, about the Vixens having 11 players. Given that there is such a wealth of talent in Victoria, why do you think they've chosen to have an empty chair instead of one of those players stepping up?
Well, we did see a lot of them get the opportunity at the Road Trip Riverina they played against the Giants, and especially the training partners in that final game had a great run. I personally am the biggest cheerleader of Mia Lavis, who I think is one of the brightest gold attack talents we have in the country at the moment, especially really strong shining star. Unfortunately, had a bit of an injury interrupted season last season, but now she's a training partner with the Vixens. Also, Vixens, this is a really new training partner squad for them. As Caitlin Maloney just getting stuck there. Out of their 5 training partners, only Maggie Karras remains from last season, and she's been with the team for 4 seasons. We've seen Gabby Coffey go across to the UK. We've also seen Emily Andrew go across to the UK, and Ruby Bachmar no longer a training partner. So, it's a lot of changes there. And Shani Landon, of course, getting a contract with Swifts. Who can forget?
Well, I guess that's what we hope for at the end of the day. Training partners getting their opportunity, no matter what colours, although we are with the Netball Victoria feed. You'd love to see them in the navy blue. 41 seconds, 3 goals now. The margin narrows. Can Austin open it back up? No, Eddie. Superb positioning in front. She'll be rewarded. Her team retaining possession. Weston, strong take. And the fake from Eddie down the middle. Austin now, not a lot of time, 20 seconds, Maloney. And now to the top, Mundy using many fakes. But the Vixens hold on, 10 seconds to go, the clock is running. Austin, she is not panicked, 5 seconds. Well, maybe she regrets that decision and wants some time back. That will be the siren, and that will be half time. It's 27-24 here at the main break.
At every turn, in every moment, Ballarat is never what you expect. Welcome to Ballarat, always brilliantly unexpected.
Hey, it's Kate, Sophie and Joe here from the Melbourne Vixens. We've hit the road thanks to the City of Ballarat.
Our first stop is Black Cat Truffles. We're going to see what we can find with some help from some four-legged friends. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey Liam, how's it going?
Hi, welcome to Black Cat. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Black Cat Truffles is a truffle farm, restaurant and boutique event venue located just outside of Ballarat. Visitors to the farm can experience a truffle hunt, guided by expert handlers and their truffle hunting companions.
Good girl, smile for the camera. As long as I'm getting pats.
So we've got some assistance from the puppies here. How will we know if they've found anything?
So basically the dogs will alert me to a truffle, they'll sniff around, and then they'll alert me by digging in the soil. What's here? What's this?
Oh, it looks like Hugo's found something. Well done, Hugo. Applause for the dog. Oh, you can hear
Just
it.
there, there's a truffle.
Good job.
Really mushroomy, really earthy. We supply some really great restaurants in Melbourne.
Got some goods from Liam's hard work here, and I think Kate, Sophie and I are really interested in trying some of this relaxed elegance in terms of service you were talking about.
Yep,
So
absolutely. Let's head back to the restaurant and we'll sort some food out for you.
sounds good.
In Black Cat's restaurant, Liam Downs, an award-winning chef, has a farm-to-table philosophy, serving up fine dining experiences using quality local produce.
Sophie always claps her food when she gets excited.
If you're sitting out there eating, you could feel like you're anywhere in the world, so we try to make people feel happy and welcome.
Yum. Well, that was amazing. I don't know how we're going to top that, but I think we need a carb load for training tomorrow. Let's go get some lunch. Thank you very much.
We are here at Carboni's Italian Kitchen. We're lucky enough to be getting a masterclass from the chefs today. Let's go. Ooh, this is cool. This is so fun, look.
Carboni's Italian Kitchen is a deli and restaurant and a Ballarat institution. The restaurant offers an authentic Italian dining experience, and Carboni's is also famous for its cooking classes.
Fresh pasta, is that what we might be making today?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, okay, I think we should give it a crack.
In front of you, each of you has a bowl with flour and semolina, and we're gonna make a pasta dough.
Well done, Joe. How are you going over there?
I'm making it happen. That's pressure next to the professional chef next to me, but that's okay. I work well under pressure. Sophie, it's not a competition. Wow. Sophie, that is really incredibly impressive.
Which is very good for hand roll.
Hear that, Joe? Perfect.
That pasta or is that short crust pastry?
I'm happy with that.
We definitely should probably try some cooked pasta.
At Carboni's next door, visitors can grab a coffee, panini or pastry, or stock the pantry with a selection of fresh pastas and antipasti. I don't know about you girls, but I'm so full. That was delicious. I've been given some good recommendations for the vintage market. Should we go check them out?
Let's go check it out.
Do it.
Woo! All right, girls, we're at the Ballarat Vintage and Collectibles Market. Should we go have a look what's inside?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. Woo.
I know, I actually think we should get some little treats for the drive home.
The Ballarat Vintage and Collectibles Market is located inside the Great Southern Wool Shed.
Ooh.
With over 80 stalls, the market is the go-to destination for visitors searching for rare and unique items.
Oh my God! No way.
What have you found? That's a bargain.
Oh my God! Did we plant this?
Coast to coast. And it's that popular, it has to have a security tag on it.
That's so funny.
Put it right front and centre.
Whether you're looking for vintage, retro, collectibles, antiques or furniture, or just looking for somewhere to browse, the market has something for everyone.
Joe. That was better than I thought. I think these ones.
Same.
Time to make our purchases. That's our third and final stop for the day. Soph's got her purchases. There is so much to do in the region. Make sure you head to visitballarat.com.au to plan your next trip. See ya.
At every turn, in every moment, Ballarat is never what you expect. Welcome to Ballarat, always brilliantly unexpected.
Hey, it's Kate, Sophie and Joe here from the Melbourne Vixens. We've hit the road thanks to the City of Ballarat.
Our first stop is Black Cat Truffles. We're going to see what we can find with some help from some four-legged friends. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey Liam, how's it going?
Hi, welcome to Black Cat. How are you?
Black Cat Truffles is a truffle farm, restaurant and boutique event venue located just outside of Ballarat. Visitors to the farm can experience a truffle hunt, guided by expert handlers and their truffle hunting companions.
You're smart for the camera. As long as I'm getting pats.
So we've got some assistance from the puppies here. How will we know if they've found anything?
So basically the dogs will alert me to a truffle, they'll sniff around, and then they'll alert me by digging in the soil. What's here? What's this?
Oh, it looks like Hugo's found something. Well done, Hugo. Applause for the dog. Oh, you can hear
Just
it.
there, there's a truffle.
Good job.
Really mushroomy, really earthy. We supply some really great restaurants in Melbourne.
Got some goods from Liam's hard work here, and I think Kate, Sophie and I are really interested in trying some of this relaxed elegance in terms of service you were talking about.
Yep,
So
absolutely. Let's head back to the restaurant and we'll sort some food out for you.
sounds good.
In Black Cat's restaurant, Liam Downs, an award-winning chef, has a farm-to-table philosophy, serving up fine dining experiences using quality local produce.
So Sophie always claps her food when she gets excited.
If you're sitting out there eating, you could feel like you're anywhere in the world, so we try to make people feel happy and welcome.
Yum. Well, that was amazing. I don't know how we're going to top that, but I think we need a carb load for training tomorrow. Let's go get some lunch. Thank you very much.
We're here at Carboni's Italian Kitchen. We're lucky enough to be getting a masterclass from the chefs today. Let's go. Ooh, this is cool. This is so fun, look.
Carboni's Italian Kitchen is a deli and restaurant and a Ballarat institution. The restaurant offers an authentic Italian dining experience, and Carboni's is also famous for its cooking classes.
Fresh pasta, is that what we might be making today?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, okay, I think we should give it a crack.
In front of you, each of you has a bowl with flour and semolina, and we're gonna make a pasta dough.
Well done, Joe. How are you going over there?
I'm making it happen. It's pressure next to the professional chef next to me, but that's okay. I work well under pressure. Sophie, it's not a competition. Wow. Sophie, that is really incredibly impressive.
Which is very good for hand roll.
Hear that, Joe? Perfect.
Is that pasta or is that short crust pastry?
I'm happy with that.
We definitely should probably try some pasta.
At Carboni's next door, visitors can grab a coffee, panini or pastry, or stock the pantry with a selection of fresh pastas and antipasti. I don't know about you girls, but I'm so full. That was delicious. I've been given some good recommendations for the vintage market. Should we go check them out?
Let's go check it out.
Do it.
Woo! All right, girls, we're at the Ballarat Vintage and Collectibles Market. Should we go have a look what's inside?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Woo!
I know, I actually think we should get some little treats for the drive home.
The Ballarat Vintage and Collectibles Market is located inside the Great Southern Wool Shed.
Ooh.
With over 80 stalls, the market is the go-to destination for visitors searching for rare and unique items.
Oh my God! No way.
What have you found? That's a bargain.
Oh my God! Did we plant this?
Coast to coast. And it's that popular, it has to have a security tag on it.
That's so funny.
Put it right front and centre.
Whether you're looking for vintage, retro, collectibles, antiques or furniture, or just looking for somewhere to browse, the market has something for everyone.
Joe. That was better than I thought. I think these ones.
Same.
Time to make our purchases. That's our third and final stop for the day. Soph's got her purchases. There is so much to do in the region. Make sure you head to visitballarat.com.au to plan your next trip. See ya.
At every turn, in every moment, Ballarat is never what you expect. Welcome to Ballarat, always brilliantly unexpected.
Hey, it's Kate, Sophie and Joe here from the Melbourne Vixens. We've hit the road thanks to the City of Ballarat.
Our first stop is Black Cat Truffles. We're going to see what we can find with some help from some four-legged friends. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey Liam, how's it going?
Hi, welcome to Black Cat. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Black Cat Truffles is a truffle farm, restaurant and boutique event venue located just outside of Ballarat. Visitors to the farm can experience a truffle hunt, guided by expert handlers and their truffle hunting companions.
You're smart for the camera. As long as I'm getting pats.
So we've got some assistance from the puppies here. How will we know if they've found anything?
So basically the dogs will alert me to a truffle, they'll sniff around, and then they'll alert me by digging in the soil. What's here? What's this?
Oh, it looks like Hugo's found something. Well done, Hugo. Applause for the dog. Oh, you can hear
Just
it.
there. There's a truffle. Really mushroomy, really earthy. We supply some really great restaurants in Melbourne.
Got some goods from Liam's hard work here, and I think Kate, Sophie and I are really interested in trying some of this relaxed elegance in terms of service you were talking about.
Yep,
So
absolutely. Let's head back to the restaurant and we'll sort some food out for you.
sounds good.
In Black Cat's restaurant, Liam Downs, an award-winning chef, has a farm-to-table philosophy, serving up fine dining experiences using quality local produce.
Sophie always claps her food when she gets excited.
If you're sitting out there eating, you could feel like you're anywhere in the world, so we try to make people feel happy and welcome.
Yum. Well, that was amazing. I don't know how we're going to top that, but I think we need a carb load for training tomorrow. Let's go get some lunch.
Thank you very much.
We are here at Carboni's Italian Kitchen. We're lucky enough to be getting a masterclass from the chefs today. Let's go. Ooh, this is cool. This is so fun, look.
Carboni's Italian Kitchen is a deli and restaurant and a Ballarat institution. The restaurant offers an authentic Italian dining experience, and Carboni's is also famous for its cooking classes.
Fresh pasta, is that what we might be making today?
Yeah, correct.
Ooh, okay, I think we should give it a crack.
In front of you, each of you has a bowl with flour and semolina, and we're gonna make a pasta dough.
Well done, Joe. How are you going over there?
I'm making it happen. It's pressure next to the professional chef next to me, but that's okay. I work well under pressure. Sophie, it's not a competition. Wow. Sophie, that is really incredibly impressive.
Which is very good for hand roll.
Hear that, Joe? Perfect. That pasta or is that short crust pastry?
I'm happy with that.
We definitely should probably try some cooked pasta.
At Carboni's next door, visitors can grab a coffee, panini or pastry, or stock the pantry with a selection of fresh pastas and antipasti. I don't know about you girls, but I'm so full. That was delicious. I've been given some good recommendations for the vintage market. Should we go check them out?
Let's go check it out.
Do it.
Woo! All right, girls, we're at the Ballarat Vintage and Collectibles Market. Should we go have a look what's inside?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Woo!
I know, I actually think we should get some little treats for the drive.
pity, although grand final time. Oh, I think we've just, I don't know if the audio was missing. You can hear us now. Welcome back. We've just been nattering away. And we'll fill you in on that conversation. We're halfway through the third term now. Long ball out. Frew doesn't have a lot to go to, has to look backward, but goes back straight into the hands of the Vixens. Walters ending up with the ball. Eddie has to look back again. Mundy having to be used in the middle third. Loose ball, Eddie picks it up. And again, the T-Birds defenders doing so much work to prevent the short entry. Baseline option is open though. Austin under post. That was a lightning pass and a great result.
Absolutely. And again, the crowd are getting on their feet here. Lots of support. You wonder if this is going to be the little bit that can get the Vixens over the line here. Well, they've been down for most of this game. They've really fought their way back, and now they're steadily building a lead.
Well, the largest margin of the game now. 3 goals in it. Kira Austin just shooting the lights out. Meanwhile, T-Birds, classy delivery through, looking long. This ball rolls over to the sideline. No one in a hurry to get back, and why would you? Halfway through the third quarter. Pre-season netball, you always appreciate a deep breath and a moment to pause and a moment to block, although, oh no, it'll be an obstruction call, I believe. Some almost blocks today, Georgia. Almost on the highlights reel.
But again, it's a beautiful moment for these players to just be refining their timing on the jump. There is no way that I can't see this being brought out into the Super Netball proper, because they're so close on that jump. Surely this is just working out their opposition, and then we're going to see it in full force this season.
Well, you wonder if the coaches are keeping some cards close to their chest, given these two sides will face off in round one. But Frew, she doesn't care what time of year it is. She's always on and under the post. Absolutely. 2 goals now. Power 5, just 15 seconds away. So we'll see if that 2-goal margin vanishes with a super shot. Mundy lops up a long one. And it's an awkward take. But there's the balance and pulling some body contact. Garvin makes it count as we head into the Power 5. 3-goal margin now. But that can be shaved down to 1 if the T-Birds go for a 2-pointer through. She'll just take the one under the post. And the T-Birds claw their way back. They have been leading this entire match. But the Vixens now stacking it on in the third quarter.
Well, we saw in the first 2 quarters, Vixens really happy to play the 2 games. So Mundy just throwing it right into the hands, and really Garrett should have ripped that one down. Lucky in that instance, but looking to play the 1, but instead play it around again because they want to go for those 2s. They've had the first 2 quarters as their warm-up. Haven't seen that 2 as much from the Thunderbirds.
Well, taking their time for the 2 is Kira Austin. Of course she makes it count. And the Vixens, they spring ahead, doubling their lead from 2 goals to 4 now. Just over 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Well,
tight pressure off the transverse line. Wide option, through wide open. Not a lot to go to though. Can Gorgeous make something happen? No, she makes the ball go through her legs. Great pick up. And again, the looping ball over. Unlucky for the Vixens defenders to not get to it. Can they pull in the defensive rebound? The chase from Mundy, but it goes even further back. Vixens springing to circle edge. And again, where do they want the shot? The options around the baseline, but oh dear, the hands of Garvin can't pull it in.
I just couldn't help but feel that was coming. For some reason, they had all those connections going through, bringing it out of defense. They were solid, but even the first entry into the goal circle through Austin didn't feel comfortable. There was some hesitation happening. It seems like the positioning trying to put themselves in the 2-point zone is at their detriment because they're not actually setting up correctly in the circle. They're asking for lateral balls, which can be really easily picked off by the defenders. And we're seeing it time and time and again. So maybe they need to play for the 1 to get those easy shots at the moment because they're not setting up in a way that's been beneficial for them to go to post.
Well, the Vixens, they get another chance off the T-Birds centre pass, of course. We'll see if they want just the secure 1 or if they keep looking for the 2. Austin outside of circle, has to look back. Eddie swings the ball. And again, T-Birds defenders doing a great job of clogging the middle corridor and forcing the ball backward. Again now, the high ball's given under post. Will Garvin push it around? Nope, she'll just push it through the hoop. And the Vixens fans are going mental because it's a 5-point game now. 2.5 remaining, largest margin of this match for the Vixens. Wide Garvin, the centre pass receive. Oh dear.
It's stagnation that's at their detriment again because they're just waiting for that ball to come for them and not making the additional moves they need to run onto the ball, which feels like it's not. It's one drive. It's the Vixen style of play is hands over defense and 2 drives to every ball. We're seeing 1 drive and stopping early before the ball gets to them, which is is an invitation to the defenders to come through and pick it off.
Well, the T-Birds defenders uncharacteristically quiet so far this match. But down by 6, 90 seconds to go. They'll want to find a little bit of ball, and that's exactly what they do. Over the goal line, free money. Down the sidelines or swing option. Geez, sideline to sideline go the T-Birds. Horges tries to balance up through short. And again, lucky chase. And a much more secure option. Frew, though, has to fight for her own offensive rebound. Gets it done. And it's back to that 5-goal margin, just over a minute to go. Thunderbirds with their own centre pass. They can score off it defensively. What can they do? Body work of Eddie means she's out of play. 2-on-1 in the circle. Who's the front option? Oh, no, the back option, 2-pointer. Through, she lines up. She gets it done. 3 goals now, just under 50 seconds. Vixens should have plenty of time here to shoot wherever they want to shoot from. Will it be under post? No, the ball, just too much on it. And the Thunderbirds have over 30 seconds to transition into their goal circle. Pushing the ball down now, Garrett goes long. Short options, and that is a beautiful open through. Backtracking to the post. The Thunderbirds have 20 seconds to get another one on the board.
It was a great dodge there by Frew to just open the space. And again, Maggie Karras just been caught out. Graham now going for the super shot.
And with 5 seconds, the Vixens kill the play. And they'll finish the quarter ahead. That's right, Vixens seizing the lead for the first time today. 44-42. A dominant third quarter display from the team in blue. We're going to take a quick break. More netball after this. Well, it's the final quarter of action. Day one at the Ballarat Blitz. 2 goals in it. Of course, the Thunderbirds had control of the first half. Vixens changing momentum in the third quarter. Hannah Kuhar, my name. Georgia Radjic beside me. Georgia, we're in for a belter of a final quarter.
We really are, and I think it's going to be exciting to see with how these teams are going to try and finish it out. A lot of changes again. So Lucy Austin has come back onto the court in that goal shooter position. I thought it was Kayla Graham staying now in wing attack and Georgie Hodges in goal attack. So we're seeing quite a hefty bit of rotation in that attacking front three for the Thunderbirds. I think this is going to be a more stable option. Of course, we know what a creative playmaker Georgie is. And then to have a bit more of a target in Austin, who's a more traditional goal shooter. I think at times Frew was doing really well in terms of drawing the defender out and having that space to run into. But both Graham and Frew were playing into the same space. Now, a beautiful home alone moment for Kira Austin at the other end, remaining in that goal shooter position.
Well, plenty to like from the Vixens, of course. If you are liking what they're serving up, they've got a fan day at Federation Square on the 23rd of March. Free event for the whole family. So if you like what you're seeing, of course you are, come along and meet the Vixens, grab some new merch and have a fun day out thanks to the City of Melbourne. Oh no. A team juggle from the T-Birds, but juggled back into the hands of the Vixens. Austin, she's full of applause and she's got the fans on their feet. 3 goals now.
Yeah, and Mackie Karras has gone into that goal defense role. Beautiful from Rudy Ellis. Read it well. So Rudy has come onto court, made an immediate impact there, but also curious to see, we see Weston, I guess, in that wing defence role to provide some leadership for an arguably less experienced back two. But we'll see now the changes, minimal in the attacking end for the Vixens this quarter. They're trying to still play with that goal attack Garvin, goal shooter Kira Austin. So Walters had hit the deck behind her, so Williams will be able to play.
Front presentation from Austin. She'll end up with the ball anyway. Garrett out of play. And oh dear, doesn't make a drop. Oh, 2 defenders out of play. You think she'd get that? No. Oh, interesting, she's handed it off, but teamwork at the Vixen always counts. 4 goals now. Mundy pushed off the centre pass. But luckily, some safe balls. That is a great feed. Into Garvin under post. The Vixens, they haven't even had an off-season. They just continued to hit their strides.
And I guess because in part they haven't had an off-season, you've seen these two play for the Diamonds. So it's consistent year-round netball for the 2 shooters, which is technically what you want if they're playing it for Australia as well. You want them to have that connection all year round because it only builds and builds.
Well, you wonder if they would like a holiday because we know it is hard work donning the dress for the Vixens throughout the year and the Diamonds at the end. But Garvin, she's full of touch. Short one, presents front and will hold on to the ball. And to hit the 50-goal mark, she can't make it drop. Gets another opportunity. And there we go. Vixens hit the half-ton, 50-45. 5 goals now. And a jumping Weston tries to have a crack, still donning that wing defence bib. Petty, speaking of wing defenders, goes wide. Not a lot happening out the front. Has to go the long option now. Secure ball and Hodges out front. That's the secure option, I guess. Short presentation, even though she can't make the shot drop. Second chance, though. She is perfectly positioned for that one.
Well, when you look at the shooting statistics across last season, it wasn't a super high accuracy rate for Georgie, but she also wasn't being demanded of doing a lot of that shooting load. So it is curious to see how this will affect her game moving forward, especially considering the amount of time she's spending in that wing attack position. But usually when she is going for those shots, they tend to be more long to mid-range than anything under the post. So that would also greatly affect her accuracy.
Well, speaking of long range, Austin makes it rain from mid-range there. Long ball up into the pocket. Again, T-Birds. The lead was 5 goals just a second ago. Now to bring it back to 2. Hodges with the short one. No, it's a short offload. Austin to put up the volume. She gets it done, and it's 2 goals.
There's an important fakie there. And again, Austin, I think I've really been impressed by what she's put out today. You know, there's been times last season where she was really demanded to be brought on in only those power 5 situations. And it's a lot of pressure for a player coming through.
Well, you might have come to watch some netball, but you're actually watching acrobatics. Hannah Mundy getting a round of applause from the crowd as she jumps over the T-Birds bench. But pushing the ball up and over long arms is Austin. Looked like Ellis was going to get a fingertip to that one. Doesn't happen. And we have a timeout to the Vixens with 1 minute 30. No, they'll just have a minute 30 to discuss.
Yeah, and I think it's an interesting timing as well because it looks like Lily Graham is coming back on the court. She immediately ran on. So as positional swap as well, we'll see Kira Austin go into goal attack. It looks like Sophie Garpin will be coming off for a bit, which I think also makes a bit more sense. Garvin has been running the past 2 quarters out in goal attack. I will be curious that the Thunderbirds bench weren't even aware because it wasn't their timeout call that they were going to be required. But I think I'm going to assume Thunderbirds will try and run out with the same players for the rest of the game.
How important do you think it is for teams to learn in pre-season what it's like to run out a full 15 in the one combination as opposed to getting lots of minutes through lots of different players?
Well, the thing about that is the fact that it's no longer the way that this netball is played at the elite level in Australia. So I think it's more curious that how do those players then translate that to international netball. But there are so many rotations happening across the board. There's no limit on them. So I think this is actually more what is going to happen in season because there's going to be these quick little rotations. They need to be aware on a moment's notice. They'll be coming on, especially in those tight, precarious situations, those power 5s that they need to come on and deliver for their team. So I think it is actually making the so-called training of the preseason here as much like match play as possible.
Well, you want to keep it real because round 1 is right round the corner. Saturday, 5th of April, the Suncorp Super Netball kicks off. So we heard a siren. That's not the power 5. We've still got 4.5 minutes to go. Selkirk Stadium just getting a bit excited. They want to see those 2-pointers getting put up. That's what makes this league so very special. Austin takes a lot of time to release the ball because she cops some arms in the way. But the arms of Ellis, you thought she'd get that ball out, just still out of play. Austin gets it through now, and the T-Birds hit the 50-goal margin, and suddenly it's back to even.
And well, it feels like it has been building, so it's really going to be dependent on these last 9 minutes to see who can stand up here, who can really... Oh, and brilliant work from Latanya Wilson. Read the flight of the ball perfectly.
Well, Wilson, she's been quiet so far today, but that is an absolute screamer. Her team to convert her hard effort under post, and the T-Birds seize the lead.
Well, I feel like it's been building there. We saw the Vixens had that real purple patch in the 3rd quarter. Now the Thunderbirds, they've hit their strides again. I think the substitutions have been made at the right moment. I think bringing on Horges into goal attack is always the right answer, but also just having the focal point in Austin. It just means that they have a more set and structured way of playing and a form of attack, and there's no confusion on who needs to go where. I think it also allows having Kayla Graham again in that wing attack role with Georgie as support. She has a bit more awareness of what's happening around her because Georgie is a player that can adapt to those around her, and that allows Kayla to flow in instead of being a little bit stagnant and confused and going too wide. And she brings her into the game really well.
As you talk about players who get it done under post, Graham again back into the goal shooter role. Garvin heading to the bench, and it's getting noisy at Selkirk Stadium. Vixens ending up with ball off the T-Bird centre pass, short ball. And the reset out, but again, Wilson, she's coming alive now. Deflection and almost looked like she'd turn it into a gain. Can she do it here? Body on body work, pushing Austin out wide. Will she take the long shot? Again, Wilson getting hands on things. Can she snatch the ball out of midair? One-on-one contest, front options on. And so is the long shot. Or maybe not again, Wilson. Her bib might be stuck to the post, but she is moving everywhere. Those hands coming up with ball once again. And the long ball's in. Austin, great take. Out-muscling Ellis. And a great result. T-Birds up by 2 now. Vixens need to respond. The momentum has shifted. Out wide, Walters going to pocket. Mundy, safe landing. Look, Austin, she almost has to dip her shoulder to get around and complete that sweep move. Long range now. Beautiful shot. It would have counted for 2 if we were in the power 5, but alas, still 1.5 minutes off it. T-Birds looking back, having to dice the ball through the middle third, now into the goaling end, through the work of Horges. Just the confidence to put up that high ball into Austin. Mid-range now. She's warming up for a big 5 minutes ahead. T-Birds up by 2 now.
I've really been impressed by Lucy Austin's quick turn of feet, pace when it comes to her footwork. She's been able to just turn around and then do the split, demand the ball back immediately, which I think has been really impressive to watch in this game and something that she's built upon in the past couple of seasons.
Let's go Vixens is the call of the crowd, and it urges Austin to a much needed offensive rebound and a goal. And suddenly there's 1 goal in it. 30 seconds until the power 5, so each shot still counting for 1. The hold's on, but the pass is not over the goal line. That's a win for the Vixens.
Yeah, Alice doing really strong work there to make sure that she pushed Austin out wide without conceding any sort of contact or penalty. So really strong defensive body work without actually, forcing a contact.
And that will be the sign for the power 5. So for the last 5 minutes, 2-point shots are on, and it's going to swing the momentum with just under 5 minutes to go in this final quarter. Mid-range shot. Oh, it drops. And the Vixens, they tighten things up, 54 apiece. Off their own centre pass now. Mundy looks really long. Great fake. Mundy used again up top. And you wonder if the long arms of Garrett will put off the shot. Oh, unlucky. I thought there were 3 feet in that one, but alas, I'm a commentator and not an umpire. Long bomb. Austin makes it count. And it's the Vixens who spring ahead by 2. 4 minutes to go.
Well, we saw the grand final score 59-57 the way of the Thunderbirds. It's 56-54 at the moment. There's just under 4 minutes left to play. Are we going to see a repeat here?
Oh, I'm sensing deja vu. Can the Vixens write a happier ending this time? Out wide, Mundy's free but overlooked. The T-Birds trying to take up space through the middle of the court, but that's exactly where Austin receives the ball yet again, working closer. And over the head of Wilson, it's a bold call. She's going to have a snatch at something. Will it be the next ball? 2-on-1 in the circle. Oh, what a fantastic take. Graham with the composure and the goal.
Huge moment. It looks like the Thunderbirds have called a timeout, or they're having a quick conversation. So it wasn't evident when it was called, but I could see immediately that Hannah Petty went to a defensive teammate. There's really not long left in this match. So this minute 30 here could really be either the settler for a team or the opportunity for them to run it home.
So the T-Birds, they were the ones who called the timeout. What do you think they'll be discussing in this next 90 seconds?
I think this is the time to let these defenders loose and let them have any opportunity and fly for those balls. It's going to take something special to be the winner here. We know that they have it in their arsenal. They've got impressive defenders across the court. This is the time they need to step up, and even it could even be a Georgie Horges or a Kayla Graham. This could be a massive moment for them to really, in their attacking end as well, put the pressure on, win ball, and then convert.
Could be the front line, or it could be the back line like we're seeing in these highlights. Wasn't the defensive work, Latanya Wilson, she had some great intercepts and great deflections. Feels like she's stepping up to the plate. How are you seeing that defensive unit working through the last few minutes?
Yeah, I've been really impressed with it. I can see as well things are building. We spoke about in between quarters about the fact that it felt like there's some hesitancy. There's a little bit of them holding back. And is it a question of not wanting to show the cards ahead of round 1? Or is it just, let's just take this as a pre-season game, or are they just not on the reaction time as they were last year? This is a team that had the highest number of gains, intercepts, deflections. Looking at the statistics last night, Shamira Sterling-Humphrey was in a league on her own, and then a little bit below her was Latanya Wilson, and then there was probably 3 miles between the next set of defenders. So we know that these are players that can really win ball. It's a heavy hit there from Williams onto Walters.
Well, you speak of Sterling-Humphrey. She's got the towel draped over her shoulders, back of screen, so it doesn't look like she'll be coming on for this final 3 minutes. Up to her fellow defenders, who now have the ball, pushing it down the sideline. Horges overlooked, instead having to go back, even further back, into their defensive third. Petty searching desperately. Wilson to help out.
Well, Vixens have ramped up the pressure in the defending as well. You can see they're trying to push their attacking opponent high and away from goal, but a beautiful ball over the top to Horges.
Well, that's the danger if you push them high. There's probably space out back, and no one better to expose that plan than Georgie Horges. Of course, she's had a stellar off-season, being called up into the Diamond squad, and of course, having a very exciting debut. What can she do from the 2-point range? She inflicts damage. The T-Birds make it an even ball game. Less than 2 minutes remaining. That 2-pointer just so needed in the dying minutes. Mundy has eyes only for Austin, sweeping wide. Graham has to use some footwork, finds herself by herself, but the ball, not the right pass.
Also, in the lead up, the preliminary moves, Lily Graham didn't seem to be committing one way or the other, which I think put the confusion in Walters, trying to put that ball in a space that she had. She had acres of space around her, but the shimmying of the shoulders didn't really indicate what direction she wanted that ball in.
Well, another stray ball, but the T-Birds hold on to it. Now Williams, beautiful delivery. When you talk about clear goaling moves, there was only one place that Lucy Austin wanted that one. As we head into the final minute of play, day 1 of the Ballarat Blitz. Geez, I am feeling a sense of deja vu. It was the T-Birds who won the grand final by 2 goals. Now looking for a 1-pointer to the ring, or no. Horges now in 2-point territory. She works the swing ball. Oh, Austin juggles, holds on somehow. And again, the T-Birds might be running down the clock, 40 seconds off their own centre pass, umpires holding time. And the Vixens fans, they know that something needs to happen. The defenders need to bite. But they just get caught out of play. Ellis. Oh, the suspense palpable. Horges can't get it through. 24 seconds now. The clock continuing to run. Both defenders out of play, but for 2. Horges gets the job done, and it will be the T-Birds taking out the grand final rematch. 8 seconds. The Vixens, they can make it closer here.
She'll get another opportunity thanks to the obstruction on Wilson, but it doesn't drop either side.
And that will be the match. T-Birds getting it done by 3 goals, 60-57. Oh gosh, that might have been the result you saw when it was 5-1 in the opening moments of this game, Georgia Rajic, but in between the start and the end, geez, there was a seesawing affair.
It was a really seesawing affair. It was good to see both teams really use their benches and do the full rotations, and there are real brilliant patches for both. I think there is a lot to work on leading into it, and I again, what we talked about in the back end of that last quarter, the Thunderbirds' defence weren't at their usual shining best, and is it a question of just not giving away all their cards ahead of round 1? But you know that when they're on, they're on. The Vixens, well, I think some of the accuracy to post in the end and getting a little bit lost at the top of the ring was the problem in terms of trying to get the ball to post. I think, again, Lily Graham really been impressed what she's done in passing, but in that last pocket, it felt like she was being smothered and couldn't find a direct option. So then it's about how do they have that backspace for Kira Austin to take it and then go to goal. But yeah, a really strong game, really interesting. Love seeing Maggie Karras get a good run for the Vixens. Love the fact that the Thunderbirds use their full bench. Good to see players like Lucy Vojvodic and Sophie Casey who've come through the South Australian pathway getting a run as well.
Well, that's exactly what the Ballarat Blitz is about, getting all players on court and getting excited for round one. Of course, those combinations absolutely firing today and can't wait to see them fire tomorrow. Of course, this weekend being made possible by the support of the City of Ballarat and the Victorian Government. But the good news is we've got a whole nother day of netball ahead tomorrow. The team on screen right now in the huddle, Vixens, will be going again against the West Coast Fever, who had a convincing win against the Giants earlier today. They'll be going head-to-head at 11 o'clock. Gee, any predictions for the end of the weekend? Will we have an undefeated team?
I think potentially Thunderbirds could go undefeated considering the match we saw them play and what happened in that first match as well. I think Fever versus Vixens is one of the most exciting matches that you have, and also it's the most common fixture because the amount of times they've met each other in finals, Hannah. But I honestly think that's going to be the game to watch. 11 a.m. tomorrow. Don't miss it on the Netball of Melbourne Vixens Facebook and YouTube. But of course, Thunderbirds really have a chance to make their mark in that second game, and Giants will look to try and steady the ship after game one.
Well, so much netball to look forward to. We can't wait to see you tomorrow, 11 o'clock. The action gets underway. Your team in blue will be right back at it. My name's Hannah Kuhar. Georgia Rajic, thank you so much for joining me. We'll catch you again tomorrow.